Hey everybody! So I just wanted to do a video on my extremely terrifying experience with sleep paralysis. It happened about 2 years ago when I was nannying for a family that had two little baby twins. They were about 6 months old, and I'd been nannying for them for a few months, and we had our routine: eat, sleep, play, and the twins were usually on different schedules. They never quite synced up to always be sleeping and eating and everything at the exact same time because they were still on bottles, so switching back and forth. But there was one day when they both happened to take a nap and go down at exactly the same time, and the parents had said before, if they're both sleeping, it's fine if you nap or rest or whatever. So there was a couch right outside of their room. The room was right off the living room, so I laid down, and I normally couldn't sleep. Like, sometimes I would just rest, if they were resting, but I don't think I'd ever really fallen asleep with them. But that day I did, and while I was sleeping, I experienced sleep paralysis, meaning that my brain woke up and I was like, okay, I need to wake up now, but my body was still sleeping and dreaming. And I had the most terrifying dream of my entire life. One of my biggest fears ever is like dropping babies. I've always taken care of kids and babies, and I'm very good with them, but obviously anything happening bad to a child is like my worst fear ever. And I was dreaming that I was waking up, walking into their room, picking them up, and like I would drop one, or one of them would be hurt, or they'd been awake for hours, and I just kept dreaming the same event over and over and over, where I would wake up, go to pick them up out of their nap, and something was wrong. I also dreamed that the parents had come home and they were wondering why I was sleeping. They were wondering how long I had been sleeping, because I put the babies down like at 11 a.m. The parents didn't come home until like 5:30 or 6, so that would have been hours later. So like inside I was just terrified, and I would realize that I was dreaming every time I would see something that was out of place. Like, I remember seeing like a Sesame Street picture on the kitchen wall, like a giant poster. I was like, this doesn't belong, this isn't right, I'm in a dream. And no matter what I did, I couldn't wake up. Like, I remember in my dream going to my grandma's house and being like, Grandma, Grandpa, help me wake up, I need to take care of the babies, I'm worried about them, and nothing I did could wake me up. And finally, oh, one more thing, while I was in my dream, I heard the doorbell ringing in the house, so I thought someone was at the door. And then, there's always fears of like robberies or kidnapping or just someone strange being at the door, and I couldn't answer because I couldn't wake up. So it was just awful. And so the thing that finally helped me to wake up was, I knew I was sleeping on my stomach because I always sleep on my stomach. So in my dream, I laid down on my stomach in the same position, and finally I was able to get up. And when I did eventually wake up, I was still cautious, like, am I still in the dream? Because I had dreamt that I had waken up so many times before. So I stepped carefully, I went into the baby's room, were both still sleeping. I'd only been asleep for like 5 or 10 minutes, an extremely short amount of time, but I was just panicky when I woke up. So I called my dad, talked to him on the phone for a little bit, and calmed down. And then the creepiest thing happened. Somebody rang the doorbell. Nobody had ever rang the doorbell in the several months that I had worked there. I was like, what the heck? And then I, of course, had just dreamt that someone rang the doorbell and I couldn't answer it, so it was very, like, terrifying. But I went to look at the door, and it was like an older, well-dressed man. So I cracked it and I was like, can I help you? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm just your neighbor, and I noticed you have a flat tire, and I wanted to make sure you knew about it and you didn't try to drive on it. And I was like, okay, thanks. And then I shut the door, locked it. But just the like craziness that I would dream that someone rang the doorbell and then someone would ring the doorbell for the first time ever was just creepy and mind-blowing. And I forgot to mention that while I was dreaming, I thought that I was either dying or possessed. Like, those are the two thoughts that kept going through my mind. Like, I don't know if anybody saw the movie Insidious, where when you dream you can like travel into the other worlds, or like you can see ghosts and demons and that kind of thing, and you're out of your body, so a demon could take over your body. I just kept having that thought. I think I'd just seen Insidious or something like that, but whew, it was extremely terrifying, and I cannot, like, I hope I never have a dream like that again. Just the fact that the children kept getting hurt and the anxiety of if they were okay, if the parents were going to find out that I'd fallen asleep and not been able to take care of them. But I was definitely just on my toes for the next couple of weeks there, and didn't ever sleep on that job again. Even if they were both sleeping, I was just like, nope, I'm staying awake for this one. So yeah, I would love to hear your sleep paralysis story, and so we can compare info. Just leave a video reply to me or a link to your video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my scary story.